Hello everybody. Today I've got a good one for you. It is getting to be spring out there, and so we need a good salad to go with some nice grilled food. Today I am making for you a delicious and delightful kale salad with a whole bunch of fixings and a lemon vinaigrette dressing that is gonna take it up to the next level. Before we get to all the goods, all the innards for our salad, we gotta make the dressing. So, first things first, get yourself a nice deep measuring cup, okay? In there, we're gonna go about 1/4 a cup here of honey. Okay, next up, we are gonna go in with 1/4 a cup of lemon juice. Need about equal parts here. 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. Okay. 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Need about 1/4 a cup of your favorite olive oil. I am using Graza olive oil here. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna need some basil. You can use fresh basil. I'm gonna use the dried stuff. Be pretty generous there, about almost a tablespoon's worth. Some cracked black pepper. Okay, and then just a good pinch of salt. Okay, now you could put this in a blender, you could whisk this together. Because of the basil and the garlic in there, one thing I would strongly suggest you to do when making this dressing is get yourself an immersion blender if you don't have a regular blender, okay? Get yourself an immersion blender and just on high, kind of pulse it. Now, doing this is going to ensure that everything emulsifies and everything is well combined into our dressing. Okay? All right, that is looking promising, but let's see how it tastes. Okay? That is good. I think that's right where it needs to be. If you think it needs a little bit more salt or pepper, some seasoning, go in there with it. Now, this makes about a cup's worth, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go about 1/2 a cup into our kale already, okay? And then all we're gonna do is set both this dressing and kale aside, okay? We want this kale to kind of wake up, all right? So that dressing and the kale's gonna absorb some of the dressing that's already in there. Just kind of toss this around to get a little bit, you know, make sure kale kind of gets it all kind of dressed up, okay? All right, this will go off to the side. Next, my favorite part, all the other ingredients that are gonna go into this salad, okay? We have got about 1/2 a cup of edamame beans. We're gonna go in with some red onions, some avocado, some mango, some quinoa, and then some cherry tomatoes, okay? We got about 1/2 a cup's worth here of cherry tomatoes, and all we're gonna do is just slice these in half, put them off to the side. Now, when making this salad, okay, it is important. There's a lot of different ingredients that go into this. So that being said, one thing to think about is when are you going to be serving this salad? Because what you don't want to do is put all these ingredients into your salad, right? Get everything combined, looking good, ready to serve, ready to go, and then having to have it sit like in the fridge or on the counter for a couple of hours, okay? One reason is we don't want the kale to become like mushy and wilty, right? We want that kale to have a nice, fresh, crisp bite, okay? Cherry tomatoes off to the side, edamame beans off to the side. So you just want to make sure that, you know, you're kind of planning ahead. Put some of these other ingredients in some bowls, right? Leave it off to the side. When you're ready to serve your dinner, your meal, what have you, if you're just having this salad, then put all the ingredients together, toss it, and serve it. Okay, I've got a cup here of cooked quinoa. I also have some brown rice in there as well. Okay, next up, avocado is going to be for our garnish. But right now we need about 1/3 of a red onion. So, and since my family, they're not as big into the red onion as I am. It's honestly one of my favorite red onions. We're going to go ahead and just slice this one way. Okay, and then thinly slice going the other direction. Now, any of these ingredients that we are using today, okay, you can obviously omit if you're not a big fan. Take it red onions, right? If you're not a big red onion guy or gal, okay, you can go ahead and just omit it or substitute. I would just be careful with some substitutions. I would look into that before, you know, just making your substitutions blindly. Okay, now this, I probably would, this is probably about 1/4 cup of red onion. I would probably go a little bit more. But again, like I said, my family's not as big into the red onions as others are, so that's okay. Next up, our mango. I'm going to kind of cut around this mango and kind of twist and pull so that we can get, what we want is to get this first layer of skin off. Drop a comment down below if you have an easier way to, you know, get a mango out. I honestly, I don't have an easier way, to be 100% honest with you. So this is how I'm doing it. I absolutely know that I'm doing this incorrectly, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so we've got some pieces of mango here. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of cube these up. So cut them into strips on one side. And then we're going to go ahead and kind of get these lined up and kind of cut these into more manageable bite-sized pieces. Okay. This is starting to look good, starting to come together. Now for our avocado, okay. For the avocado, we're going to want to slice this. So take your knife, kind of go to the top, be gentle, feel for that pit, kind of go around that pit. Twist and pull. Okay, now I'm only going to use about 1/2 an avocado here, so very gently kind of coarse lines through your avocado like so. Okay, so kind of line it that way and then line it the other way so that we're kind of making small little square bite-sized pieces of our avocado. And like I said, I'm going to leave this kind of intact, right? So that when it comes time, we can just kind of pop it out like that, okay? You've got your bite-sized pieces of avocado, but we're gonna kind of leave that for the garnish. Okay. Next up, we're gonna clean our work surface to make some room for the salad. We need a serving bowl, or a self-serving bowl, I should say. Okay, into our kale salad, we will put our mango. We'll put our red onion. Toss in the quinoa and brown rice. It's a very earthy, healthy looking salad here. Okay, then we're gonna go in with our edamame beans, our chopped cherry tomatoes, making sure we get all parts, all ingredients in to the bowl. Now, next up, don't want to forget the rest of our dressing. Toss that in there. Perfect. Okay. Kind of give this a good kind of mix, nice toss. I'm using a spatula to kind of work it. Absolutely, you could use salad tongs. You could put a lid on this, shake it up. I would just be kind of, gentle with it. You don't want to bruise anything. Okay, this smells and looks phenomenal. Take a look at that. Okay, now all that's left to do is plate. So we'll take our bowl, make sure we get a healthy bit of our kale. Make sure we get enough ingredients with everything else. Top with fresh avocado over the top, like so. And you, my friends, are ready to eat. All that's left, taste test. Make sure we get a little bite of everything. We got some onion, got some kale. I see the quinoa, edamame, get a cherry tomato in there. One piece of mango. All right, perfect bite. Oh, yeah. You hear that crunch? That is good. That is really, really good. I love the crunch of the kale. I bought the pre-packaged stuff that was already chopped up. If you just buy a head of kale, make sure that you really chop it up good. I like the dressing. The acidity in there is not overpowering to the salad, but it like fits perfectly with all the other ingredients in there. Because you have the fresh fruit, the fresh veg. You have the umami in there. I mean, it all just works so beautifully together. It's a light, crisp salad that you could serve out on the deck, out on the porch, at the dinner table after grilling out, or pack this for your lunch. I mean, this is perfect. This is a fantastic side dish or standalone salad on its own. You have got to try this phenomenal kale salad. Thank you so much for watching. What's your favorite type of salad? What's your favorite ingredient from this salad? What do you want to see me cook next? As always, don't forget to smash all those buttons, subscribe, comment below. I will see you guys next time. This is Mr. C, the Cook and Teach, and this is Cook and Teach out.